Let's jump straight into it, because the royal household is once again serving up drama hotter than a Netflix season finale. Reports are swirling that Prince William has suddenly hit the brakes on his rumoured crackdown against Prince Harry. And apparently it's all because King Charles begged him to calm down. Yes, the king himself making peace, pleased like a royal firefighter trying to stop another Windsor inferno. So here's what happened. Prince William, ever the self-proclaimed enforcer of royal order, has been flexing his influence lately, pushing his father to deal more harshly with Prince Andrew. That's right, Andrew, the royal who's been at the centre of scandals for years. And to everyone's shock, King Charles actually listened. A statement came out of Buckingham Palace saying Andrew would stop using his royal titles because, quote, the allegations against him are distracting from the work of the royal family. Now, I don't know about you, but when the royal family starts worrying about distractions, it's like the pot calling the kettle Buckingham silver. Anyway, William wasn't even satisfied with that. Insiders say he wanted more, much more. And that's when things took a darker turn, because apparently William's clean-up list didn't stop with Andrew. Rumours spread that he also had plans to target others, including Harry, Meghan and their kids. Yes, you heard that right. He reportedly wanted to strip the Sussexes of their royal titles. Because apparently when your brother leaves to protect his wife and family from the toxic palace press machine, the logical next step is to punish him for it. Classic royal reasoning. But here's where King Charles enters the scene with his "please, let's not go nuclear" moment. Sources say the king personally pleaded with William to halt this title-stripping crusade, saying they should try for peace instead. And not just with Andrew, but with Harry too. According to insiders, Charles, and surprisingly even Kate Middleton, have been nudging William toward a Christmas reconciliation. A Christmas reconciliation. You can almost picture it, a silent royal dinner, everyone pretending to enjoy turkey while side-eyeing each other over the gravy. But of course, this royal peace talk comes with conditions. Because William apparently agreed to the idea, but only if it's strictly on his terms, meaning no Meghan, no aides, no cameras, no documentaries, and absolutely no chance of Harry writing about it later. Basically, William wants a meeting so private it might as well be in an MI5 bunker. He's said to be deeply wary of being recorded or having his words twisted. Excuse me for asking, recorded by whom? Harry? The man's barely said 2 words about his brother since leaving the UK, and yet the press insists he's running a secret podcast of palace confessions. The irony is wild, because who's constantly leaking details to the tabloids again? It's not Harry and Meghan. What's really happening here is a royal PR dance, where William wants to look like the tough guy, but not the villain. Meanwhile, King Charles is stuck in the middle, hoping to patch things up before Christmas so the monarchy doesn't look completely divided. Spoiler alert, it already does. And let's talk about this idea of reconciliation without Meghan. Every time the royals mention peace, they conveniently forget that Harry and Meghan are a unit. You can't just invite half of them and call it a truce. It's like inviting peanut butter but banning jelly. Meghan is his wife, not a side character they can edit out of the royal narrative whenever it suits them. You can tell this presents independence, intelligence, and the one thing they can't handle, truth. She doesn't play their media games. She doesn't need their approval. And that drives them absolutely crazy. And this idea that William's terms include no documentary or no book. Come on, that's not concern, that's guilt. Only people who are afraid of being exposed worry about being quoted accurately. Meghan and Harry aren't hiding. They've told their side of the story, and it's time the other side stopped pretending to be victims every time their behaviour is brought to light. Let's not forget the timing either. This reconsideration by William comes right after Harry's quiet meeting with his father Charles. So while William plays politics, the family that forced Harry and Meghan out is now realising they need them back to keep public goodwill alive. Let's be real without the Sussexes. The monarchy looks outdated and out of touch. Even the British public sees it. Polls keep showing that people are tired of the same recycled royal headlines. They want authenticity. And whether you love them or not, Harry and Meghan brought something fresh, modern and human to that centuries-old institution. The palace is desperate to control the narrative. They're trying to make it seem like William's the peacemaker, when in reality he's the one who's been stoking the feud for years. Harry's the one who's been open to communication, just not manipulation. It's funny, really. Every time Harry extends an olive branch, the palace turns it into a stick to beat him with. But now that public sympathy is shifting, they suddenly want to appear magnanimous. It's all about optics. William doesn't want to look like the brother who broke the family, especially while the king's health rumours swirl and the monarchy's popularity wobbles. So here we are, a royal family trying to fix their image before Christmas, while the Sussexes just live their lives authentically in California. If William really wants peace, he should start by accepting responsibility, not issuing conditions. Because real reconciliation doesn't come with terms and threats, it comes with humility. And if he truly wants to rebuild trust, he should stop worrying about being recorded and start worrying about being honest. Because the truth is simple. Harry's not the enemy, he's the mirror. And what William sees reflected back is what makes him uncomfortable. So as this so-called Christmas reconciliation looms, let's just say this. Peace talks, without accountability, are just another royal photo op waiting to happen. The world's watching, and people can tell the difference between genuine healing and another PR performance. And as always, Harry and Meghan continue to move with dignity, proving that grace, purpose and truth outshine palace politics every single time. And that's the royalty for today. If you enjoyed this deep dive and believe Harry and Meghan deserve better than endless palace spin, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell and drop a comment with your thoughts below. Let's keep supporting truth, compassion and the Sussex story, because over here on Meghan and Harry Tales, hosted by Adrian, we celebrate them, not tear them down.